Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University and Champions, issue number 5. This is indeed a War of the Realms tie-in, and don't forget there are other War of the Realms books out this week, including War of the Realms itself, issue number 3, and there's also War of the Realms Strike Force, the Dark Elf Realm. Yes, so the book's created specifically for that, and then of course this particular tie-in. Let's get talking about, and yes, Cyclops does in fact return to the team, if only for this one issue, which is perfectly fine by me. So let's get talking about who made this book. We got to go a couple pages in because it's a Champions book. This is Old Friends and New. Jim Zub is the writer. Juanan Ramirez is on art. Marcio Menez on the covers. On the color art, and VC's Clayton Cowles on the letters. And then we got to go back to the beginning of the page because it's a Champions book. Kim Jacinto and Rain Barretto on cover art. Max Lim on variant cover art. Guys, if anybody's on Facebook, one, you should be on Comic Book University Facebook group because we do cool stuff there. And also go and check out Kim Jacinto. He puts up a lot of art, and it's really good stuff that you're never going to see outside of his Facebook page. So definitely consider checking that out. Good people too. This was a solid book, man. You have Cyclops rejoining the team because he all of a sudden gets surprised. Some supplies show up to him and the rest of the X-Men. And Havoc's like, dude, where did you guys come from? It's like, oh, we saw a hashtag that you guys need some medical supplies, so here you go. Wait a second, so let me get this straight. The Champions are this team that are in Australia, and they've got a teleporter. His name is Pinpoint here, and they teleport stuff around the world. This almost sounds like freaking Gateway, man. That's too great. So, you know, on a solid nod back to the late 80s X-Men, boom, right there, rock solid. So, Cyclops is, talking. It's like, wait a second, Miss Marvel, Champions? Hey! And he goes and he shows up, and probably one of the greatest scenes in any Champions comic book ever in the history of the creation of these characters, and I'm talking like volume 1 where none of these characters were on the team, with like Hercules and all them. Dude, look at this. The whole series could have been made just for this moment. To me, my Champions. Are you freaking kidding me right now? That was a great scene. That was a damn great scene. So, what do you call it? Yeah, Miss Marvel is just opening up this whole supply line. And really, like, if there was anything that I could have asked for better in this comic book, it would have been that this was like an 80-page spectacular where it's just Miss Marvel sending her team out, this huge team of champions, to different areas of the world, feeding supplies to people who needed supplies. That would be freaking awesome. And then, of course, there's a little adventure each place that they go. That is just so cool. That would have been so cool. But we do get this, and instead we do get Cyclops showing up. So just as cool, I guess we'll have to settle for it. And he really is like our Cyclops, the young Cyclops also, because he does have those memories. And when Miss Marvel finally realizes that, her face scrunches up and she's just like, she's about to bawl into tears. She just reaches up and hugs him tight, like, I'm not ever letting you go. And it was a great scene. And I can sympathize, I can empathize with that because I started to get a little teary also, maybe choking up a little bit. And then I just, like, oh man, and just, but I'm cool with that. So yeah, it's fine. Anyway, Soraya is in this, and bit of a spoiler, she joins the team in this one. She's written really well in this. I know there's been a lot of people complaining about the way that she's been written here. Zub doesn't seem like the type of person to address things on a face-to-face basis or even write about it. I know you guys been complaining. He's just not that type. He's more of the type to take it under advisement, ask some of his many students in Toronto, where he teaches, one of the most diverse places in the world, mind you, where he will then ask, like, what about this? What about that? He's got a wide variety of places where he can learn things and pick up things and address certain complaints. And he does address it in his writing. He basically makes Soraya more Soraya-ish. I don't know that the word Gawa would be used in any of the languages that I know of in Afghanistan. Most of my neighbors speak Farsi, which is the place of Iran. The language of Iran. And yeah, they're they're not Arabs, so they don't speak Arabic. I don't think that word transfers over, but what do I know? I don't actually speak Farsi. But dawa itself is an Arabic word. It just means coffee, but it's their specific brand of coffee. Usually it's what references to it. It's like a little green espresso. It just boom picks you up. And I don't like the taste of it. Doesn't matter. I don't like coffee anyway. I've got more than enough energy on my own. I can't imagine me being wired on freaking coffee, man. But the point is that there's a moment where she actually makes dua and she expresses that I'm praying. And yes, dua that Muslims do is much more akin to the translation of the word praying than salat would be. I know a lot of people are like, oh, salat, that's when Muslims pray. No, that's their ritual prayer. It's very different than dua. Dua is actually praying. That's when you're actually asking for something. What do you call it? So yeah, I feel that the way that she's handled in this book, Soraya, it matches more with how we would understand who she is. She didn't want to ask to be on the team because it's better to sit at the back of a table and be asked to move forward rather than sit at the front of a table and be asked to move back. And that's the way that Soraya usually is. And that's the way that she's handled in this book. And I like that. I don't think, you got to remember, everybody's got their own headcanon of how a character should be. Well, now we're under Zub's headcanon. And yeah, he's at least paying attention to the constructive criticisms that he gets about the way that she's been handled before. And it's very evident in this issue. Anyway, guys, really good issue. It is, in fact, a War of the Realms tie-in, but in typical Zub tradition, he makes it actually count for the characters themselves as well. So, new member of the team joining up, somebody who we were hoping to join, that happened in this book. So if you thought you could sleep on this one, think again. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.